Hello, folks. It's Jeremy Osterberger with Big Magazine. I'm joined today by Gary Bernardez, Chief Executive Officer of AMECO. That's a site services company focused on serving capital construction projects, owners, contractors, and ongoing plant operators in oil and gas, chemicals, mining, power, biotech, manufacturing, and infrastructure end markets. Gary, thank you so much for carving out some time for us today.
Absolutely. Glad to be here. Thank you.
So, Gary, let's jump right into it, man. A lot of folks are talking about the tight labor market. 2024 is starting off to be a busy year, but some of the same challenges we've had in a couple of years past, like the tight labor market, persist. What challenges are you seeing in the marketplace? And your ear is so connected to so many owners and so many contractors across the country and domestic U.S. What are the opportunities of the challenges we see right now?
Yeah, absolutely. Well, as you said, Jeremy, we could take this for a couple of years now, this whole tight labor market. We look at it in a couple of different ways. One has been a refinement of our purpose, mission, and core value so that the employees, the team we have across North America now can really lock in on why they work for AMECO, what our mission is, and the core values and how we treat each other and our customers. So that's kind of more of a recruit, retain, develop. It's hard to grow if you can't keep the talent you already have. So we think a lot about that and making sure there's a real clear understanding of what that purpose, mission, core value is, how it lines up to the strategy of the company, say over the next 3 years, and then really focused on retention because people have a lot of options these days. And what we want them to do is think of us as the employer of choice and a place they want to come to work in. So we've done a big rollout of that in 23. 24 will be a lot more detail around purpose, mission, core value. We did a really good end of the year in 23 with an employee engagement survey, a new format for that. So a lot of our activity in 24 will be proving that we listen to our team across North America, and then what are the things we're going to do to kind of help lock and load, and again, help them want to come to work every day and be part of the AMECO A team. And I think one other thing that we're finding is what do we do with the services we have, and how do we impact our customers, because they're dealing with tight labor market, et cetera. And I think one of our best examples is our scaffolding solution with Perry. And what we're finding is it takes less people. It's easier on the scaffolding builders from a weight and ease of use and ease of just moving material around. Matter of fact, we did a video that we'll be putting on our website of erecting and dismantling our Perry system scaffolding against the competitors. And I'll leave it to the video. Hopefully people will watch it. Pretty significant in terms of quickness and ease of how to do it, less safety incidents, et cetera. So if we can have an effect on our customers' employees, then we think we can kind of lock and load with them as they deal with the same issues we're dealing with.
Makes total sense, and love kind of the approach from internally, what you're doing for the labor market, and also kind of externally. How do you make it easier for your clients? And I think both of those things are what wins. So Gary, let's dig into Gulf Coast construction. Construction is off to a big start. I read last week $59 billion in projects are breaking ground in 2024. That's kind of upstream, midstream, and downstream, from kind of like New Mexico up to Oklahoma, Texas, over to Alabama. That's kind of the region I'm referring to. Look, what is AMECO seeing in terms of industrial construction right now, or kind of a short-term outlook?
Yeah, no, absolutely. If you think about that part of the world, we're fairly locked and loaded from Louisiana through, the Houston market. All the things that you read, a lot of the stuff you report, Jeremy, your excellent organization helps us all keep up with that. We're seeing that very thing where a lot of projects announced. I think some of them a little bit of an accordion relative to the availability of resources, and actually when will they really start, how fast will they get rolling. You always have the competition for people and resources when some of these things overlap. I think that'll affect starts, but a lot of these FIDs are done, they're approved, most of them funded, so that's a good thing. I also break it up a little bit. LNG, and you think about the energy transition, a lot of that is still there. I think some of the players are moving around a bit. We also be good to let everybody rip. I know there's some decisions coming out of the administration about LNG. I think that's just an assessment, hopefully, with a lot of stuff in line to really happen in the field, which is where we do our work. The other thing that we're a part of now, it's a byproduct of the acquisition we've made of F&M a year and a half ago, is we're also involved in some really good infrastructure work in the Gulf. We have the largest derrick crane fleet in the country. We just secured some new work on the Houston Ship Channel Bridge. And also we're on the Harbor Bridge job over in Corpus Christi. So that's a market that the world hasn't seen AMECO play in historically. But those two jobs alone give us a really, really strong presence in the infrastructure aspect of the Gulf.
That's great, Gary. No, thanks for that update. So let's talk about AMECO's evolution. You and I did a video not too long ago, a couple of years ago, in regards to AMECO and its major acquisition of F&M Mavco. Look, what have you learned over that time, and how has AMECO focused its business since that acquisition?
Yeah, it's been an interesting ride. We still see the real reasons behind combining the organizations. You know, we took a best of breed approach when we put the companies together. I'd say 23, the last half of 23 was the true kind of last stages of truly integrating into one AMECO. So a lot of things that we integrated into the business, a more transactional aspect of the business, we now do out of Greenville, the Southeast, out of the Gulf Coast. The infrastructure and marine aspect that I just mentioned before, that came with our acquisition of F&M. So we're expanding that obviously into the Gulf, but infrastructure, marine play everywhere. It's a kind of a constant need across the country. So we're looking to kind of take advantage of that. We do have a really cool e-commerce platform that came with that acquisition as well. So we're expanding that in support of our site service business and our transactional business. And then I think the other thing that we're really, I'd say, augmenting our focus on, really stepping up our game, is Canada for us is really a gigantic opportunity. We've had a long history there. The F&M acquisition brought us some additional customers there, and we're really seeing that combination give us a better foothold with new customers, and that's really what it's all about: diversifying our business. Now that we're a standalone private site services company, so everything we can do to prove to new customers that our solutions can bring value to them. That combined organization, I think, got its legs underneath it after getting fully integrated and really doing it across North America.
No, thanks for that update on the integration, Gary. So AMECO is a leader in thinking differently about project execution. I think that owners are demanding this, right? Especially in the past 4 to 5 years, rethinking project scopes, project execution. Any conference, which I'm a panel, this seems to be a topic that we always talk about. It seems nearly inevitable that projects get off schedule. How does AMECO's approach differ from the conventional approach, and what effect does it have on project schedule?
Yeah, it seems to be a topic. It evolves a little bit each year. I mean, I think we're hoping that we can help it evolve faster. Our purpose that we came up with is unlocking possibilities on site, and so to do that, you've got to have early conversations with owners and EPCs to help them understand that you may bring a different solution to the table that could lower labor costs or certainty around scaffolding. Scaffolding historically, if you look at CII, it's been quoted as the top component of projects that typically go over budget and schedule. And our scaffolding approach, through our offering, our design capabilities, our commercial terms where we'll take risk with our customers, we can give a lot more certainty to that type of scope. And it's been shown over and over that most contractors and owners have some difficulty there. So our Perry solution and our experience with that, I think, gives us a real leg up. But I think the other dynamic we're seeing is the world's starting to shift a little bit. You got a lot more construction management, so a lot more owner involvement with contractors. So we're having really, really good conversation with owners in terms of some site-wide services that can be more appropriate for all contractors on the site, a little bit better operating environment, so there's some consistency. A lot of the sites are a lot tighter these days, a lot less land, so everything we can do to be more efficient, one throat to choke, kind of gives the owner maybe a different thought process about how to execute. And a lot of times we're having those conversations with the EPC and the owner at the same time, and that's good for us. It gives us a chance to demonstrate some value that the owner buys into. and then we help that contractor execute that way. So we see some of those things happening. I think the other thing we're hoping that isn't just a trend is a little bit more consortium bidding, consortium to target price. We all know the lump sum shift that's gone on in the last couple of years. We're seeing a little bit more of that, especially in Canada, where consortiums come together, have a target price that they bid to, and then you're sitting at the table with that consortium designing into the way the job's going to get executed. And if we're going to unlock possibilities on site, which is our purpose, that's a great way for us to do that. So that earlier conversation for us is huge. And that's where I think we can bring our greatest value.
No, that's cool, Gary. That's probably a topic in and of itself for us to jump back into another time. That was interesting. So why don't we do this, Gary? I know you've got some things going on today, and I have to head out for a conference, but I did want to spend some time together today. Let's save that topic for another time. And Gary,
Absolutely.
I thank you so much for joining us for the conversation. Trying to get together, and I'm glad we did.
I am too. Thanks. Great to be with you.
Always, man. So everyone watching, we thank you so much for watching. And if you want more videos, news, or podcasts, visit bicmagazine.com. Remember, everybody, it's what we do together that counts.